Hello everyone, welcome into Above My Pay Grade. My name is Eric. Thanks for tuning in. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. The article I'll link in the description below. Wells Fargo was ordered to pay $3.7 billion for illegal activity. Do you guys remember when Wells Fargo kind of got in trouble for opening up accounts in 2016 that weren't real people? Or real people, and opening up accounts in their name to make more money. Keeping in mind, banks create money, so it helps them to create more of it by opening up new accounts. But it says here, federal regulators fined Wells Fargo a record $1.7 billion on Tuesday for widespread mismanagement of multiple years that harmed over 16 million consumer accounts. Now, I'm highlighting this to say, a lot of people think that they look at like crypto, for instance, which Bitcoin, not crypto, but they look at these companies like FTX and they go, oh man, I mean, I couldn't imagine investing in a company like that. It's insane that people would put millions of dollars with Sam Bankman-Fried. And they have this warm fuzzy because they've been around for a long time in Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo, that somehow they're straight or clear, white as the driven snow, and they would never extort money out of people or cheat them. And Wells Fargo is a good example that that is obviously not true. And the financial incentive remains that if it's kind of like Pfizer or any kind of drug company, if they get sued, if they made $3 billion on one medication, they get sued for $1 billion, they get to pocket $2 billion, right? Same thing with banks. And look back to 2008, it was a combination of government and banks, government creating the incentive and banks being greedy, but banks were like looking the other way on these mortgage-backed securities that were rated as like AAA, I think, and they were really like triple C or B. I don't remember. But anyways, they were looking the other way, all because of greed. Okay, so like I said, Wells Fargo repeat offender. It says here, the investigator Chopra describes Wells Fargo as a repeat offender and a corporate recidivism, adding that Tuesday's fine is just an initial step towards holding the bank accountable. There were systematic failures. According to the CFPB enforcement action, Wells Fargo had systematic failures in its auto loan business that harmed more than 11 million accounts. Those failures caused Wells Fargo to wrongfully repossess some borrowers' vehicles, to improperly charge fees and interest, and to fail to refund certain fees, regulators say. Moreover, regulators say that Wells Fargo improperly denied thousands of mortgage loans modifications, causing some customers to lose their homes in wrongful foreclosures. So it says here the billions are going to go back to the customers. My question for you. Why, a lot of people wonder, why a giant corporation or like, I often think about this in the military or in the government, why can there be such monolithic thinking to allow for something like this? For something like, there's probably many layers, maybe thousands of people involved in this at Wells Fargo where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna steal money from customers, overcharge them for their car loans, repossess them, thousands of people involved. Now, what is it in human beings that does that at mass scale, right? Everyone can understand that there's one, right? One person who might be dishonest, but if there's thousands of people involved, why do they say things that they don't, or do things that they don't agree with? And I heard this interesting, this is from Michael Malice the other day. It's basically a herd mentality, or if you're swimming in a school of fish, if you want to stand out, swim the opposite direction. But if you're in the school, no one can really pick you out of the herd, and so no one can pick you off for being a different thinker. And so I think this goes for the medical industry during COVID. Like, you didn't hear a lot of backlash because they saw if you go on Twitter and you say something opposite of the narrative, you could get your medical license revoked. So you do not swim outside the school of fish. You stay in there. And so that kind of teaches people, hey, I better get along with this groupthink. And the same goes in Wells Fargo. Hey, you're going to be fired if you don't do as I ask, even though they might not agree with it, or they might on the surface go, this doesn't seem right or correct. Or in the military, in the withdrawal of Afghanistan, hey, this doesn't seem right or correct. Maybe we should consolidate forces in Bagram, which is a defendable base and not an international airport in Kabul. But they realized, hey, the fish are swimming this way. If I decide to say the opposite thing, that's when I stand out. That's when I get picked out of the crowd. And what are the incentives? What are the incentives for being a different thinker? There aren't any. You'll probably get fired. Maybe get doxxed, maybe get kicked off of Twitter. So in the medical career field, in banking, in military, in politics, all these people see other people getting punished and realize, hey, if I want to keep my job, I better keep swimming with that school of fish. Pretty interesting stuff, in my opinion. And just also goes to show you that the banking system in the United States, a lot of people have this kind of warm blanket around them thinking they're not like FTX. They would never do what Sam Bankman-Fried did. And I would disagree with you on that one. And just look up the history of Wells Fargo, and you'll know that I'm telling the truth. All right, guys, let me know what you think about what I talked about in this video in the comments below, and I'll link this article there too. See you guys in the next one. Peace.